Okay, so another example. 12x squared plus 5x minus 2. I'm going to use this same factor by grouping rules. Step number 1 is the same thing as our flow chart. Factor out a GCF. Do we have a GCF? 12, 5, and 2. Nope, 5 is prime, 2 is prime, no GCF. Greatest common factor, no. How many terms? 3. Is it a perfect square trinomial? Absolutely not. Is the a equal to 1? No. In this case, a is equal to 12. So factor using an AC method. Okay, so find AC. AC equals 12 times negative 2. So 12 is negative 24. So now we do a factor table and a sum. Okay, we need a factor of AC, so factors that are going to give me negative 24 that are going to add together to be 5. So we're going to take the factors of negative 24, I don't know, 6 times 4. 6 times 4 gives me 24. One of them needs to be a negative because I need a negative 24. So 6 times 4 gives me negative 24. And negative 6 plus 4, that gives me a negative 2. So that doesn't work. And if I make it be the other way, 6 times negative 4, I still get negative 24. But positive 6 plus a negative 4, that'll give me a positive 2. So that didn't work. What about 24? What about 8 times 3? One of them needs to be negative. 8 times 3, that gives me a negative 24. And a negative 8 and a positive 3 would give me a negative 5. Oh, I'm close. I need a positive 5. So let's change the signs. Positive 8 and a negative 3. I still get negative 24. But that gives me a positive 8 and a negative 3, and that gives me a positive 5. So remember, I take these two numbers this time. I come over here and I chop that 5x, and I chop it up into 8x minus 3x. Okay, now I might not have them arranged correctly because remember what I'm looking for? I might want to rearrange them, and it's totally okay that I do that, and sometimes I don't know until I get it written down. But you see how I just moved the 8 and a 3? And the reason that I did that is because when I group these together, I'm going to look for something that I can reverse distribute. He says reverse distribute. I say undistribute. I'm going to look for that GCF, something, a common factor that I can pull out. And my factors here, this is going to be negative 3 x times 1. This is going to be, what if I do, if I pull out a negative 3 and, oh, my dogs. What if I do here, what if I pull out a 3x and a 4x? You see how I factored 12x squared right here to be 3x times 4x? And this right here, I get a 3x. So that means that that 3x can be the common factor that I undistribute. And so that's going to leave me the 4x inside there. And it's going to leave me the minus 1. So I put those two together because I recognized that 3 would factor out with the 12. Now over here, I've got, this could be 2 times 4x, and this could be 2 times 1, and the thing that they have in common right there is a plus 2, okay? The thing that I can undistribute, and if I pull the 2 out, then that's going to leave me a 4x minus 1. Notice here that now the 4x minus 1 is what I have in common. the 4x minus 1 is now the GCF. Pull the 4x minus 1 out of this term, pull the 4x minus 1 out of this term, and then the two things that you have left is 3x plus 2. And these two things will multiply together to give you 12x. That's factor by grouping. I followed these steps right here. Multiply AC, there's the AC, then do the factor sum table. Once you get the factor sum table, you split the B term using these, and it's okay. Sometimes you have to rearrange them to make sure that you get these two grouped together and these two grouped together. And then you factor out a GCF, the term that's left after you factor out or undistribute should be the same term, and then it becomes the GCF of the final answer.